So, more things we get into in this channel, this topic might be a little touchy, but I don't give a shit. We're gonna get into it. So, I seen I think it was a little clip, I guess, about D Wade. Kwame Brown was, I guess, talking about. I didn't listen to what he said, but I can kind of judge what he said because I heard Kwame Brown talk before, and he's been on been on a rant for a while. He's been on talking a lot about different things and stirring people up. But he was talking about D Wade letting his son wear a Kobe Bryant dress. Well, not his son, I guess that's his daughter. I don't know. So that whole situation, man. Listen, there's a few things I can say about that, right? In the era we in, where men can be women, women can be men, and you just gotta accept it and all that. Listen, at the end of the day, I got no problem either way. I don't care what you do with your life, but you're not finna change. You trying to make me conform to what you saying, right? You trying to make, it's like if it was a flat earther, right? I talked about flat earthers on the video. If you try to make me conform, that if I don't understand, then it's something wrong with me, right? That's what you're trying to do, right? And that's almost like the same type of push, right? You telling me that if I don't understand that a man can be a woman if you're born, that I'm crazy. So we can't do that, right? If you want to do whatever you want to do, however you want to raise your kids, I don't care. But you're not finna go up there and speak as if that is the truth, right? Or if that is something that is gonna, you know what I mean? Like, don't do that. And see, these celebrities, it's two things. Like I said, them doing that, I know that's all got to be Gabrielle Union. To me, she just seems like, she's a catalyst and all that, and I don't know what's going on in their relationship, but it seems, out of whack, right? You gonna let your son, and you can do whatever you want to do at the end of the day. Like I said, I don't really care. At the end of the day, I don't care. It ain't gonna bother me. But then when you go out and preach about it and you talk about it, that's when we gonna have a problem, because now you out talking about it. So now you in the public domain. So now we can talk about it. And if you want to say if it's right or wrong, then we can have that conversation. We can go back and forth. We can go over real shit, real talk about societies, or talk about biology. We can do all that. As long as you keep it to yourself and you want to ride the ride, I don't think you should be able to do that and go on. But some people gonna like it, some people not gonna like it. Some people gonna love it, right? Some people gonna hate it. You got to learn to deal with that either way. Just like me speaking about it, I'm going to get both. So it is what it is. And then the other thing, I talked about this on another video, was, when people start getting too much money, they start getting real weird. That's all I'm going to say. Like, people get a lot of money, they don't know what to do with their time, with their money. You know what I mean? They don't know what to do with their time. They got money, right? They got money to blow. And it's like, they ain't got to worry about the struggle, the hustle. They ain't got to go out there and get another bag. They ain't got to do nothing. So, they start to get into weird shit. They start to do weird things. And some of it is just them being who they really are. They just, because they never had the money to do it. So now that they got the money to do it, they going to do all the weird shit they can. They're going to buy an owl. They're going to buy a monkey, right? They're going to buy, I was there joking with my wife the other day. We went by a store and they had a bunch of just crazy knick-knack shit, right? It had like a Ferrari motor table, right? Coffee table, right? The motor, it was a Ferrari motor, and it was coffee table. It's in Boca down here, you know what I mean? So I'm like, damn. And then it had just a big stone of I don't even know the name of the stone. It probably was like a granite or like a topaz or something, big old stone, right? And I'm like, it was $8,000. I think the Ferrari table, I don't remember the number. It probably was $20,000-$30,000. And he said a bunch of weird shit like that, like weird pictures. When they're going to people who got money houses, most of the time they got some weird shit going on, right? They got like a $10,000 picture of a blank page, right? Just a blank canvas, right? Be $10,000, right? Some crazy shit. So. And that's why I say when people get money, that's how they start acting. It was shit that they wouldn't buy. Like, to be honest with you, if I just had money just to waste, I would probably buy the Ferrari table. I don't know where I'm going to put it. Right? But I put it somewhere. I put it on my patio or some shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, I get it. And I said, that's when you got to watch where you taking advice from, or watch where you taking, watch who you watching, right? Because, if it's some advice about, success, or about, getting money, or it's about sometimes about life or whatever, you got to look into that. I'm just not taking advice from you because you're rich, right? I'm not taking life advice from you. I'm not taking marriage advice from you. I'm not taking, relationship advice from you. I might take some business advice from you if I know how you got your money. Because again, that makes a difference too. Like I said, this conversation is going all over, but it's more about, Like I said, I don't want to get all way off subject, but you take advice from people that that have experienced those things and can give you the advice, but you got to make sure, like when I was saying about where to get the money from, that can get tricky because some people can inherit the money, some people can get the money dropped on their lap, some people come from the mud and get it, right? Some people they got connections because who they know and who their parents know and all that. So you got to ask questions, right? Find out that first before you start getting advice, because not all advice is good, not all advice is bad. So you got to balance that out yourself. I know we got off subject, I started with the D-Wade thing, but again, back to that, do what you want to do. Just don't be out here trying to tell me like that's okay. Like that's the right thing to do. That's good for society, this and that, blah, 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 blah. Because then we're going to get in an argument, because now you're trying to tell me, Like, and this is something that I'm adamant about standing up for, stand up for what you believe in, right? I get it. But don't try to. If you're gonna do that, then you bring it to the public. Then we got it. Then we can have a conversation, right? I can speak on it, right? Because you brought it out there, right? If you kept it at home and you let your son wear a dress, fine. I don't give a shit if he walks around the house in a dress or goes to the store in it. I don't care. When you put it out there, now you bring it to the public. Now we can have the conversation about it, right? Because that's it. That's just what it is. What it is. What you do at home, I don't care. But when you bring it out, we gotta talk about it. Because now my son gonna see it. Right? Now my nephew, my niece is going to see it, right? So now I got to make sure that they understand what they seeing, because they don't know. They might take your word from it, and I don't think your word is right, so you got to have that conversation. So that's all I want to speak on. Now I know I got off subject or whatever. You can comment about it or whatever you want to do.